right, guys, welcome back to Dominion Domination, where I set out from day one to completely dominate the Mesopotamia domination mode here. And I've pretty much been able to accomplish that. I am at that point now, though, where I have three bases. I have a base up here. I don't know why. Okay, the star doesn't show up until you get closer. A base up there. I have a base over here, and then I have Baghdad. So Baghdad is a great one to have. I believe I've built this up all the way. There might be a couple of these that are still level 3 factories. No, I pretty much, yeah. And so my intention was to go ahead and max out all of my bases, which I have done now. Yep, there we go. Everything has railways. Everything has level 4 factories, and usually they um, also have an airfield as well. So my food situation is not looking great, and in large part that's because I have so many troops on the field right now. Really, really do. So my push was going to be to attack into Kut, if you guys will recall, because I'm so close already. You know, in taking over that other country who attacked me, I knew I would have a lot of landmass over here, and therefore a lot of troops to be able to funnel into that attack. However, it has since occurred to me that by attacking, I'm attacking really the number one AI on the map, the number one challenger on the map. And that's not really wise because it's going to instantly take me to war footing along a long, long border here. So let me tell you what I'm doing instead. I have my entire Air Force over here, which I believe unified is 46 bombers. So that is a heavy, heavy strike force. Right now I'm gathering them together, and I'm going to go ahead and attack into these two heavily and just clear out those and sort of leave them as no man's lands. And what I'm doing here is splitting my cannons in each of these. So I'll have 2 cannon inside the fort, 2 cannon behind the fort. Same thing over here with the 6 coming in. I'll have 3 inside, 3 outside. Over here, same thing. I've got 4 inside, 4 outside. And I'm doing that for that sort of traditional reason of you want your cannons in the fort, because if somebody comes with a stack of cannons, then it's just you're trading back and forth, right? If you're holding your cannons behind the fort, then they're just sitting there with cannons attacking into your fort with no reply. So I like to have some cannons in the fort. But I also like to have some positioned behind, because the AI will often run forward forces. And so, you know, just in case somebody gets up in melee with me here and neutralizes this 4, the 4 that are outside will still continue to rain down on that melee activity here. When I finally finish this defensive posture before I attack, I will, of course, run out probably 20 in each region to stand just in front of the fort. That's also important to try to prevent that melee engagement as long as possible. So my preferred posture, let me just show you the thing I like the best of all if I'm standing defensively against anything that comes my way, is I do like to have 20 or more. This has 100, so I'm going to go ahead and put 30 in front here. That leaves 70 behind, along with some tanks to be that defensive cushion for the 4 cannon that are still in there, and then 30 to prevent the melee engagement, and then 4 outside. That is my ideal. So I've got my my screening troops out front to prevent melee activity. I've got cannons on the inside to rain down on anything that's coming forward, including a stack of cannon. If they come in, we can trade. But of course, I will be inside of a fort. Looks like it's building up. I believe it's building up to a level 3. It's kind of confusing how they label this, but I'm almost certain that I engaged in level 3, and so it's just 2 because it's still 2 now, I guess. Not crazy about that labeling. But anyway, so I'm setting up here defensively. Over here, I kind of need to do the same thing. I'll only have 2 cannons, so I'll just leave them where they are for now. But again, I will run 20, maybe just 10, because I have 2 different avenues of attack to confront. So maybe 10 here, 10 here. I'm talking defensively here because what I've decided is I'm going to go ahead, and I do need to posture up here defensively as well. That's going to be all for off-cam stuff, because what I have decided is I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm moving this stack up to here to be defensive here. This stack is moving in. Nice little stack here, moving in. And then I'm coming back with 110, 30 tanks, and 30 artillery and a bunch of tanks. They're all coming back to my true point of attack, which is here. So I'm moving in with that giant stack. I'm moving in with this substantial stack right here. Another 115 artillery, 100 men, 15 artillery. And then I've got defensive stuff along here as well. And then, these two attacked me at some point because I'm not very likable. Let's face it, my popularity is 18%, and by the end of the game, you've had to attack so many nations to conquer that is going to be low. So that's just what you deal with. You're going to get attacked by the AI this late in the game. You just got to kind of set up for it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm setting up for all these. I've got so much steel. I just have an excess of steel. It's ridiculous that I've just been trying to continuously, every time I come back to this game, just start forts a building. I've got so much steel. There's no reason not to. This is completely undefended territory there, which is fine because I can move people over. And I haven't yet been attacked, but let's go ahead and just keep on building them forts everywhere I'm at. So I'm continuing to do that and setting up defensively because when I attack, I'm going to attack into this little shrimp, right, to take my fourth. And it just didn't make any sense for me to attack this huge country that I have so much territory adjacent to. And I also am on fairly good terms with still from when he was, an actual person before he left the game. So we still have right of way here. So that's always nice too, because you'll go from right of way to, no right of way and they'll turn beige. And then you know that an attack is probably imminent. But at least you have that sort of yellow light, right, between the green light and the red light. You've got that yellow light in between that can kind of warn you. And I do have a nice defensive line over here that I feel pretty good about. If he attacks in, he's going to attack heavily. He's got a lot of stuff. There's just no question. There's a lot of material in here that both my human enemy, or, well, he was my ally, I guess, at the time, but, the human player was building, and then the AI has had this now for weeks. So, the AI just continues to churn out stuff. So what I do have here is defensively, I've got big stacks where I have potential attacks coming in. I've got a big stack over here, and then I just have this real nice core here with 10 railguns, 21 artillery. And that is one thing I do love about this version of the game, is that you get so much material, and you once you get to the 3-base strip here, then you really do have the ability to build just obscene amounts of stuff. So I've got a railgun here. I've got another railgun who's on sort of guard duty over here. And at some point, these guys are going to turn on me. There's just no question about it. It's going to happen soon. But I'm continuing to stand over here with this guard duty here. These boys over here, these British boys at the artillery, they're just sitting here killing people. There's 213 now. They're absolute heroes. I wonder what my kill ratio is now. It's probably pretty good. Yeah, 2.24. That's really good. And in large part, it's because of this late game stuff where the AI just keeps rushing stuff in and dying. And I'm not losing anything, except ammo, I guess, which I guess in this game is endless. Well, not really endless, is it? Because cannon do have an upkeep. So that upkeep has to do with, I suppose, things like ammo and repair and things like that. So things are going well. When I come back, it's going to be once all those huge stacks arrive here. And also, do I have... No, good. I'm going to go ahead and build an airfield here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and... No, yep, no, yeah, I'm going to. What was that about, you ask? Well, you typically don't want to build an airfield directly in the... and land your aircraft directly next to somebody because they are fairly vulnerable. So really where I got an airfield here, that's good. And I think the bombers can reach in to attack from here for now. I'm going to go ahead and build one here as well because I have lots of resources. I'm going to have to look into the food. I might need to go around and shut down some of my barracks to kind of balance that out again, because I don't like hemorrhaging food, even though I've got so much fish, 143K fish. I can sustain this loss forever, right? I've got it dialed over to the wheat so I can continue to grow infantry, which will just naturally spawn throughout my, entire region here. But it's time to go to war soon. So when you come back, everything will be here. My 49, by then probably 50 or 60 bombers will be in place here, and it will be time to strike into this shrimpy country here. Now, I have attacked the smaller potential enemy on purpose, but once you take the fourth, everyone attacks. So the real important thing here is to realize where I am weak and where I am vulnerable. And so what I'm really trying to do, and I'll do this off cam, but I've got a lot of different resources I can sell to try to build up. It's unfortunately, I'm just low on oil. I wish that that was one of the things I had a lot of, but I need to just start coming around here, because once everyone attacks me, I'm going to go ahead, once I have four, I should say, once I have four bases, I'm going to go ahead and retreat most of this stuff back into this star. I'm going to retreat most of this regional stuff back into this star. By the way, I'm taking everything from here except for the railguns. I'm taking everything to go into that attack down here, because once I take this fourth, I want to garrison it heavily, because that's when everyone attacks. Literally everyone in the game should attack you. That's what everyone should do at that point, because then it's like, and they should attack with everything, because it's do or die at that point, right? You might as well. Usually what prevents people from attacking you in that late game is that you only have to hold the oil fields for 4 days. And most of the armies on this map are more than 4 days away from me. So that's generally, like, when I've played this game and somebody else has gathered 4, I'll send all my stuff to try to attack the closest oil field that I can, but it's often, 3 days away. So that's going to be to my benefit as well. So you can see, not taking this oil field, I think, is smart, because this entire giant country is going to be throwing everything to try to take that oil field back. Not to mention, probably these adjacent AIs are going to attack me as well. So I just feel a little bit safer here on the doofus side of the map, where nobody ever conquered the garrison. This is still the original garrison. So I'm just going to attack in and take the garrison. I'm not attacking a player character or even a previous player character. This is literally AI from the beginning of the game. So when we come back, those forces will be in place, and you can take part. You can observe the attack in, and then I think the next video after that will be once I've got it. We'll see who attacks me, because it's going to be a lot of people. It'll be fun. I'll be getting attacked all over the place. I feel pretty secure over here with these railguns. That's pretty OP over here. I have 5 railguns, just long distance attacking this no man land country here. I love to have a no man's land in between. If you try to position your own troops here, then they are vulnerable to railguns from inside of here. I am certainly vulnerable here from a railgun here, but he's not moving anybody up to that point yet, so I'm leaving these garrisoned where they are. But just in case you're curious, these are invulnerable. These, as you can see, are garrisoned. Well, it doesn't say, but it will say here. These are located in Bridgehead Epsilon. Bridgehead Epsilon is right here, and it is invulnerable. What they say in the game description is impregnable. You cannot attack into here. These are invulnerable. So I love railguns that their reach is so far, and yet you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do. You cannot attack them. You just have to take it, which is what the AI is currently doing, just taking it. All right, so that's it, guys. There's not a whole lot more to say. When we come back, I will be positioned to attack. We'll do that together. And then the video after that will be the aftermath. When I have all 4, we'll see what happens at that point, because that's when all hell breaks loose. So thanks for checking in, guys. We'll be back when we're ready for that attack. Adios, amigos.